Mark McLemore, Juan Gonzalez, Will Clark, Rusty Greer, Darren Oliver, Tom Goodwin, Fernando Tatis, John Wetland, Jeff Zimmerman, and Ivan Pud Rodriguez. All these names are off the top of my head from the 98 Rangers squad. Why is this important? Um, it probably isn't unless you're a Rangers fan, or know a Rangers fan, or you get paid to cover it.
Don't look at me. I work for a living.
As for myself, I am stuck squarely between the first two. I may be a fan or not. And in 98, I was still really undecided at that point. But I definitely lived with a huge Ranger fan. My dad. He took me to my first pro baseball game and took me to many parks to watch the Rangers play over the years. It was a driving force that made me love baseball. And even though it wasn't football, it was a game I played, and even more, it was a game that was a way for me to connect with my dad. He always told me a real fan knew more than five players on a team. Well, I guess that made me a fan of at least the 98 Rangers. Now, why do we love sport? It's a question I asked myself before I started this series. Is it one thing, one moment? Is it a series of moments strung through time, lives, and history, which has accumulated telling a story of fandom? I think it's all of that for each and every one of us. This will just be a history of sports through my experience. And I figured, hey, I might as well just share it with you. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and share the video for me, please. Over the 1998 season, I watched my favorite player, Ivan Rodriguez, have an all-star season. Juan Gonzalez win the AL MVP and watched the wild pennant race that was going on between the AL West. Well, the Angels, being where I grew up, made it easy for me to go and see some of those games. I remember guys yelling at players and fans of the other team, the free Sundays on Sunday, and the Nestle Family Fun Zone. I still think I could have outran Darren Erstad, but that's another story for another video. I remember seeing Darren Oliver pitch and remember saying he was my favorite Ranger pitcher, since he was the first Ranger pitcher I saw pitch. I really remember watching the Rangers play live in Arlington, smelling the grass, the hot dogs, peanuts, and a guy, yelling hot dog, so loud, eventually being echoed on the Jumbotron. And as the music played, as the player came to the plate, I could imagine myself catching like Pud, hitting like Juan, or pitching as good as, well, Darren Oliver. Even if I couldn't, it made me want to at least try as hard as I could. And in the 1998 season, the excitement grew even more. The Rangers and the Angels were going back and forth, with neither one of them giving up until finally on September 20th, the Rangers took sole possession of first place and never looked back, clinching the division Friday, September 25th, 1998. I still have the newspaper clipping in an old scrapbook in my parents'. In total that season, the Rangers did surprisingly well against the AL West, posting a 7-5 record against the Seattle Mariners, who won the division the year before, splitting the season record against Oakland 6-6, beating Anaheim flat out with a 7-5 record. It really showed that the Rangers played really well against the AL West, and it only explains why they had the 80 wins. But the one thing, clear determining point for what was coming was their record against New York Yankees. The 3-8 record that they posted during the regular season was a clear sign of what was to come during the playoffs. In Game 1 of the ALDS between the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees, was played in New York Yankee Stadium. Now, on these hollow grounds, the Rangers did not do so well, posting 0 runs through 9 innings against New York pitching, with Mariano Rivera getting the save as David Wells pitched a shutout, and Todd Stottlemyre gave up 2 runs in the game to lose. Game 2 didn't fare much better. The Rangers put up 1 run in the 5th inning, but otherwise they gave up 3 before that inning occurred. Rick Helling took the loss, and even though he was the only Ranger to hit 20 wins in that decade, he took the loss in Game 2 of the series against the young Andy Pettitte. with Mariano Rivera closing out Game 2. Man, that guy's crazy with his cut fastball. Finally, Game 3. Another Texas shutout. And you know what? Aaron Seeley gave up 4 runs in the 6th inning. Otherwise, having 0 runs for the Yankees through 8 other innings of the game. Unfortunately, that was the last game I really cared about the Rangers because even with everything good happening during the offseason, A-Rod signing, the real-life Kenny Powers, John Rocker signing, Hideki Irabu, who just played for that Yankees team, coming over to the Rangers, Rafael Palmeiro, even though he was replacing Will Clark, which is basically who my brother's named after, besides Superman. And, Pudge. Why? How can you let Pudge go? And even more, how can you let go of Johnny Oates? Well, anyways, that severed a connection to the team that my dad loved. And you know what? I'll have more about that in episode 5. Speaking of what's coming next, our next episode is an NBA episode about the San Antonio Spurs. If you like this video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do so now and also hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date when new videos post on this channel. Well, that's enough West Coast Sports Debacle. Have a nice day, and I'm out.